5 simple text messages. That's it. If you're looking for a simple way to get conversations going right now, this episode is for you. My guest today is Jimmy Burgess, good friend of mine, and arguably one of the best in the business when it comes to helping agents grow with simple, repeatable tactics. Jimmy's known for taking the mystery out of lead generation and showing agents just like you how to create real conversations that turn into closings. And today we're digging into his 5 text messages that he says every agent should be sending right now, today, to build momentum in their business. Now, let's go collaborate with Jimmy. All right. So Jimmy, I love that you've boiled this down to something as simple as like a text message. Most agents out there chasing the next big thing, right? Like ads and these complex funnels and social media hacks. So why do you think text messages, something so simple as that, are one of the most powerful tools that an agent can be using right now?
Yeah, I mean, Cole, really, in reality, it's like we always want to go where the people are. And if we're thinking about things, this was kind of one of those where, it used to be, I always used to tell people, hey, look, I had that old, I think you and I have talked about this before, but I had this insurance guy that was down here visiting that said, hey, listen, literally, this is what he tells his agents, that this phone right here, if it's sitting on the table, that's broke. That's rich, broke, rich. You're talking to people. And so literally the way I built my business was just on making those phone calls. And what we're seeing now is that people don't answer the phone the way they used to. And also a conversation is different than it used to be. So a text is basically an opportunity to engage with people and really start a conversation that typically, if it's the right place, it will lead to those eventual conversations. We know that contracts don't come without conversations, but what this is a way to utilize the type of communication that a lot of people are utilizing right now to be able to reach out, to begin those conversations, stay top of mind, and actually be able to initiate some of those conversations that we all are looking to have.
Yeah, great point. And like you said, the text is really kind of the opening engagement to get that thing going.
And I think text is where we're building momentum right now. This is the thing is like for us, what we're seeing is what is it that we can do? A lot of agents, are trying to figure out, well, what should I be doing right now? And that's what's great about this is you and I are going to talk today about 5 specific types of texts that you can send right now that will start beginning to have those conversations, build momentum. And as well as I do, once you get the ball rolling, it typically tends to speed up and roll even faster. So what we want to do is we want to give some initial ways and some ideas. And I know because every single agent that I've worked with on these 5 texts that have utilized these, they're actually having those conversations and really starting to build that momentum we're looking for.
Man, I love it. So let's start with the first one. I think you call it re-engaging the database, and you shared a script. I think that helps agents reconnect with old leads or something. So can you just kind of walk us through how that text works and why?
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, if it's okay with you, Cole, is I'm going to actually I'm going to kind of give you the format, who this is for with each of these, the thought process behind it, and then I'm going to read it, and then I'll send you where you can put it in the show notes, the exact everything as far as the exact text, because the wording does make a difference. And so what this is for is basically this is a re-engagement for your database. So a lot of agents have people that they have put in their database. They put them where they're receiving updates on specific properties, and they can do that with their MLS. They've done it with their CRM, whatever it is. But this is for the people that you have had set up for a while that maybe you haven't engaged with a little while. Maybe it's just a lack of you doing that. Maybe it's that they weren't top of mind. Maybe it's people that, you don't even remember really where the initial conversation came, but that they're receiving and they've been receiving information on properties from you. So what we're wanting to do is to identify which of those people are either still interested or newly interested, or that really are ready to be taken out of the database. So it cleans the database a little bit. We always say this. I mean, we can't make a living on maybes. It's yeses and no's. When this text goes out, we typically get 1 of 3 responses for those that come back, or we get 1 of 2 responses. Yes, I'd like some modifications. Or number 2 is hey, take me off your list. I've already bought. That's fine.
That's fair.
It's purification. So this is kind of the text, and I'm going to read it specifically, make sure I do this correctly. Okay. So this is what it sounds like. Hi, your name. This is hi, their name. I'm sorry. This is your name with your company. You've been receiving emails with homes from my site for a while. I don't want to send you anything irrelevant, but I also want to make sure you're getting info that helps you if you're still looking. Should I update your price range, search criteria, or how often you're getting emails. So this is a easy way to reach out to these folks. Now, like we talking about, a couple things are going to happen. Some people are going to say, no, this is great. This is actually coming through just like I want it. That gives us the capability to really be able to utilize this in a way. And see, that's a little bit modified there from what I did. I like actually to modify the frequency of emails. I like that terminology. And then what this is going to do is then when they come back, if they say, actually, we need to modify, then that's the time when you go in with the conversation. I'll absolutely make that change. Just curious, has your time frame changed on when you guys might be considering buying a place? And then you begin just to have the typical conversations. This is where we can do that. Or if they say, actually, everything's fine. Great. Has anything changed? Or is there a time frame when you guys will be considering purchasing a place? This is a great way. And if it's sellers, it's, hey, is there a time frame when you guys will be considering putting your place on the market? Now we're beginning to build a database of understanding of timelines. We're filling the database with more and detailed information. We're cleaning out some of those that don't need to be in there. And in reality, what's happening now is we're building momentum, because these are a lot of times, these are cold leads that we're turning to sold leads. So these are opportunities that we're really flipping. And so this is a great way to re-engage with your database. It's a specific text. And let me just caution people, don't send this text out to 100 people at one time. Because here's what happened. We did this one time, and literally like the phone is just bouncing off the table, because you will get responses from this. And like I say, it's going to be one of those two ways. The key is to do this at about 20 a time. And what we're seeing is typically we're getting between, depending on the time frame of what that looks like, as far as the time frame of how long it's been since you've talked to them, we're looking at somewhere between 30 to 50% response rates. And that's a pretty strong response rate for cold leads that have been literally not contacted or been engaged with for, in a lot of times, a year or two.
Yeah. And most importantly, you've engaged them. So that door's been open for that two-way communication, right?
Correct.
So
yeah.
How should an agent handle it when somebody says, take me off your list?
Absolutely. I completely understand. Did you guys find a place, or is there anything additional? I'll take you off the list immediately. If there's ever anything I can do in the future, let me know. I mean, literally, if somebody tells me not to call, I'm not going to call. That's just who I am. I mean, look, there's plenty of opportunity out there. And in reality, it's a great way to now really narrow in. I think sometimes agents can get overwhelmed if they've got 100, 500, some people got thousands, tens of thousands of people that are in their database, and they can't remember who they are, what they did. This is a great way to really narrow and find out those people that are moving towards the bottom of the sales funnel, so to speak, and letting them self-identify as the people that are looking for your assistance.
Yeah, because that's the leakiest holes in all of our buckets, is the older leads, right? So
yeah. Hey, look, all the statistics say that 8% of every database is going to turn over every year. It's going to buy or sell. On average, 8%.
8%.
The problem is that most people don't see 8%. They don't even see 1% of their database that they convert to actual sales. And so this is a great way to increase that ability for you to be a part of those transactions that are happening, whether you're talking to them or not. This is a way to get yourself involved in those transactions as well.
Love it. All right, man. Your second text is one that really kind of stood out to me. The video walkthrough, right? Instead of just sending an MLS link or something, you're encouraging them to film like a quick video walkthrough. So tell us about that one.
Okay, so this is a situation where, let's say that you have buyers, and look, in this environment, we know buyers are they're moving all over the place. And so what can we do to show additional value in a way that really ties them to us, that shows them that we're going to go the extra mile for them? And so what we're encouraging with this is that we always like to have a next 10 list. So who are your next 10 most likely buyers? Who are your next 10 most likely sellers? And out of that list, what we do is we're checking the hot sheet in the morning when something comes on the market or has a price reduction that's substantial. And then what we're doing is we're actually thinking and looking at that next 10 list, and we're saying, oh, well, this one actually could be in line with what these 2 or 3 people are looking for, or these 2 or 3 sellers, it's similar to the type of house that they own that they might consider selling in the future. And so what we're doing is we're doing this unsolicited without telling them. We're calling the agent and immediately saying, hey, listen, I saw your new listing. I've got a couple of people I'd love to send a video walkthrough of this to identify if this house may be. It ticks a lot of their boxes. And I'd love to, I don't want to waste the time by showing the house if it's not something that'll fit for them or for your sellers, but I can do a quick video walkthrough, make it real easy. And I set that appointment. We go do those the morning that we see that hit. Now, what we're doing is as we're doing this, you can either film the video text as you're standing out front, or you can actually do this for individuals. You could do it for one, just kind of a group. Hey, this place just recently came on the market this morning, and I thought of you guys immediately. Let me give you a quick walkthrough. So I'm going to read you exactly what I wrote down on this, just as kind of a script. But look, put this in your own words, make this where it's personal. But this is what I put. This is, hey, the person's name, if we're going to do this personalized. This house just hit the market this morning. You probably got the listing alert, but I wanted to walk you through it to personally, since it checks a lot of boxes with the features we've discussed for you. Let me know what you think, and if you'd like to come take a look at it in person. If it's not the one, any feedback will help me refine my search for you. So what we've done here is we're going and we're actually being proactive. And this is a great way to set yourself apart from other agents. It's also a great way to get better feedback from those folks. And a lot of times, something that's a really good listing that you're going to go look at, I mentioned making sure that you say, hey, this, their name. You can just say, hey, this just hit the market this morning, and I immediately thought of you. Well, they don't know that you're sending this to 7 people. So you can make this where it can be mass done a little bit more. It helps the agent understand what's available in the market better. It helps you become a better and more informed agent, but it also gives you the ability to give extra value to those potential buyers. Also, if that thing doesn't sell very quickly and you have new leads that are coming in, or you're talking to people, you've now got a library, if you do this consistently, where when someone calls and you're talking to them and they say, I'd really like a 3-bedroom house, and say, there was one that hit the market last week. I actually did a video walkthrough on that for someone else. Let me send and text that over to you right now. And when you do that, you have gained their respect immediately. So there's multi-purpose in all of these texts we're talking about. It's to generate conversations, to build momentum, but it also has the side effects of giving us the ability to know the market better, give us the ability to have a library of content that we could send to other people, and also give us that ability to narrow in on the buyers that really want to work with us because we showed them that we're a little bit different.
I like that. And I like how you modified that. You removed your name and your company, because, I think I either learned this from you or maybe Sharon about selling the open, right? So
Yes.
if I see this text message come up and it says, hi, Cole, this is Jimmy with Berkshire, I already know, okay, I don't think I'm interested right this minute, right? And then I think about how would I text a friend? Like if I'm texting you, it's not, hey, Jimmy, it's just, hey, blah, 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 right? So yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Kind of removing some of that and just going right into the, hey man,
Absolutely.
thinking about you, so on and so
And
forth.
Cole, you know as well as I do, a lot of this depends on who the client is. You know what I mean? And it also depends on your personality. The way that I might do it in a joking way may not be the way that someone who is a little more, I don't want to say professional, but maybe a little more,
We can say
in
professional.
line with
I'll
it.
go with that.
Yeah, I guess probably professional. Right. So whatever it is, just be yourself. Just be authentic in this. I mean, literally, I've had agents that would go in and they would joke about this.
Yeah.
I mean, they would do the walkthrough and be like, I can only imagine the kind of bangers you would throw by this pool. I mean, I'm like, I don't know that I would say that, but that's their personality with their client. So
Yeah.
just utilize this in a way that it creates.
Shane Bergman comes to mind when you say it that way.
Who is that? What's that?
Shane Bergman kind of comes to mind when you say
Shane
it
does
that way.
all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he is looking for ways, to distinguish himself with his personality, and that's the reason why he's killing it. Because just like we've always talked about, there are certain clients that are going to be perfect for me. There's certain clients that will be perfect for you. It's probably not the same people. So the more authentic we are with who we are, the easier it is for them to identify us and for us to identify them.
Absolutely. I agree. All right. The third text is one of my favorites. It's so personal and simple. Just sending a quick video while driving through a neighborhood. So unpack that one for us.
So a lot of this is that we always want to stay top of mind with our previous buyers who ultimately will become our sellers, and also their great referral network, source, as well as multiple transactions. So for this one, basically this is, imagine that you are driving through a neighborhood and you say, oh, I remember selling that house a few years ago. Well, why not pull over on the side of the road in that neighborhood, literally shoot a text either with their house in the background or somewhere in the neighborhood they recognize, and just simply say this. I'm going to read this to you. Hey there, name. I was just driving through your neighborhood and thought of you guys. Hope you're still loving the house. Just wanted to say thanks again for trusting me with helping you find your home. If I can ever be a resource for anything for you or someone you know, I'm always here. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. So
Love that
literally,
one.
it's a great way to be like, I'm thinking of you. And it's not just a check in. I'm checking in on you. It's literally like, you popped in my mind. I didn't want to let this go by. And how many times do we have that happen as agents where we remember a previous, it doesn't even have to be, we talk about this driving through your neighborhood text. You can do this sitting at your desk. I mean, literally just, it's a personalized way to make sure that people know that you were on their mind. And when you remind them of that they were on your mind, promise you're going to stay top of mind for them. And this is a great way to generate some additional conversations, also to generate some additional referrals.
Another thing I just thought of is there's probably a handful of title companies, at least here in Texas, I don't know about Florida, that closings happen at, right? There's some regulars that you tend to, so why not record something while you're in the closing room? And that's where that closing happened with that previous client. I'm here today just thinking about you. I remember when you were sitting on that side of the table, just something
It's
like
really
that,
good.
right? Just something simple.
Yeah. Hey, I was doing a loan with Cole today and remembered that we worked together when you bought your house.
Yeah.
It's just creating those connections and just those, look, there's all of those things that cue those memories to us. And whatever it does, just share those things. And look, we all love being remembered. It's just human nature. And when
Absolutely.
someone remembers us, it literally puts the law of reciprocity into effect, where our psychologically, we begin to want to remember them. And so consequently, then they want to do something for us. Well, the best thing they can do in a lot of cases is send referrals. And so that law of reciprocity really does go to work. As long as you are giving value, letting them know they're valued, then they're going to send you some value as well.
Absolutely. Love it. And it's so freaking simple. It really is.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, I had to share this with you.
Yeah.
Go
So
with that
this
one.
is a couple things. This could be anything. You know what I mean? This could literally be like, I was having a conversation with Cole today, and he was telling me about the fact that instead of waiting for rates to go down, because you can negotiate more right now, a lot of people are actually negotiating a buy down on their rate. And I was thinking about you guys from a standpoint that this may make sense, that you may not have to wait. And then, hey, if you got one more details on this, just let me know. So that's a general one. I want to give you the exact text, but I want you to be creative with this. Whatever it is that I had to share this with you. This is one in particular, okay, about a coming soon listing, okay? And this is what we would typically be sending to all of our database or people that we know that are likely to know other people, influential people in your area, people that know a lot of people that talk to a lot of people. This is what this one would sound like. Hey, their name. I had to share this with you in case you know someone who might be interested. I'm prepping a home to go on the market in the next week or so. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and is located in this area. It is going to be priced around a price. I can't share full details yet due to our local MLS policy, but I imagine it's going to move quickly. I thought of you and had to text you about it in case you know someone who might love this home. Now, this is a way to generate and stay top of mind for those people that know. We've all got people in mind, typically, most people do, that they know that are considering buying or selling, and so what is it that we can give them that is value that will make them call those folks? It's the same thing that we're seeing with Instagram right now, where, obviously we've been told by the head of Instagram, the key for virality is the share. So what is it that we can do to be able to start trying to create some of that ourselves? So in reality, what that looks like is what are we going to do to be able to go out there and give something to someone that they will share with someone else? Well, this is the way that we can find something of value that we can then share with that. I'll go back to the example I mentioned about the buy down on rates. This could be one of those, hey, I was just talking to my friend Cole who did your loan, and we were talking about the fact that a lot of people are waiting right now to buy, and it make a lot more sense if they were just to go in now and negotiate to buy down the rate, because they could get the rate they're waiting for it to go down to. And odds are when the rates go down, prices are going to go up. So I was just thinking about, who do I know that this might help? And I was thinking about you and all the people you know. And I just wanted to share this with you because whether it works for you, it may be somebody that you know. And this is a great way for you to be able to give somebody something of value. So I hope this is going to be helpful for you. And listen, let me know if you got any questions, and I appreciate you always thinking of me when it comes to real estate.
I think we all know somebody right now that doesn't think they can afford to buy a home.
Correct.
Right? So there's got to be multiple people that come to mind when somebody receives that text, especially younger people in this market with affordability. So that's a great one. Yeah, I love the psychology at play when you're talking about the new listing. with the price is going to be around, and I can't share all the details yet because I mean there's a little mystery there. Now it's like I'm not even interested, but I want to know now. Like what is this
No,
house like? You know, I
so
love that.
Cole, last week I was on, I was doing an interview, and actually it's the Inman article this week when we're recording this, that I did with Jimmy Mackin. And Jimmy said the best way to market is to market like people gossip. So in other words, how do we gossip? It's like, I got something I need to share with you. Don't tell everybody. Or, hey, I'm sharing this with you in case you know someone. Because here's our human nature is we want to share things that we think that other people don't know about. So if we feel
Yes.
like we can give them something where we're almost like, hey, want to give you a heads up. We've got this coming. Not everybody knows about it, just in case you know of somebody. Well, then they're going to want to be like, hey, absolutely, man, Cole will want to know about this. And so then I end up calling Cole and saying, hey, I got this text from Jimmy he's got a house coming on the market. I know you guys are looking around. Here's what he told me about it. I don't know any more than this. Is it something where you'd like for me to do an introduction where you would kind of get some more information on this?
Love
That's
it.
where we're talking about sharing in a way like we gossip. That I love the way that Jimmy Mackin put that, because that really does create something where we're playing into human nature and we're giving them something that maybe they can't find otherwise. We're that, we talk about being the resource for real estate, but in reality, we want to be the source. The big difference, if we're just the resource for real estate, all they do is call us about specific resource, real estate. But if we're the resource when rates and way to do buy downs, and we're the resource for a landscaper, and we're the resource for someone that can do remodeling, all of a sudden now you're a
Property
source,
tax
has a
protesting
number
or
of different,
all that. Yeah.
all that stuff.
Love it.
Big difference. Become the source. Be the
Not
person, the
just a
source of
resource.
information, the source of details, the source for not just what you know, but the people you know. And all of a sudden, when you do that, that begins to just snowball in your effectiveness and the reach that you're going to have as an agent.
Yeah, you're giving people more and more reasons to reach out to you. You're
Correct.
the
And for you
keeper
to
of
stay top of mind.
yeah. Yeah. I love that. All right, man. Number 5, last but not least. And this one I think is awesome because going back to the video, and I'm putting a link into the original video that you did where you kind of go into more detail on these because I loved it. That's why I reached out to you. But I like the psychology at play here. And I like also how you've mentioned it doesn't matter if they were a week ago, a year ago, or 10 years ago, right? So I'm going to let you dig in on this one.
Yeah, the thing is, Cole, I mean, there's never a wrong time to say thank you. And so whether that referral came in the last, and this is basically for just thanking people for referrals specifically, because, if you want to reinforce and get more of the action, you want a reward for that action. And so a couple ways, obviously, is when they are least expecting it is when it is most effective. And so, yes, of course, you want to send these right after you get the referral, but to send somebody or put a note in maybe your phone or on your Google Calendar, or whatever, that at the 1 year anniversary that I was to send you. Imagine if I sent you and I was like, Cole, I just want to tell you, it just came up today. It's the 1 year anniversary for the Smiths that you sent me. Man, I just wanted to, I didn't just want to congratulate the Smiths. I just want to say thank you to you. And just know how much I appreciate and value the trust that you gave me. And you know that I'm always going to treat your friends like family. And I just wanted to make sure you knew how much I appreciated that. And those
Uh-huh.
are some of those things we can do. Now, I will tell you, some of these, like that one, a lot of times you can send the text, but I would encourage you to do a video text. And the
Mm.
reason being is that it's more personalized. And you could hear the tone in my voice of appreciation.
Yeah.
And it
That
doesn't come
inflection.
through as well on the other. So I'm going to give you the script, but play off of this and do your own thing. But I'm going to give you an outline or a framework you can use. I'm going to do this to a client that's referred, and then I'm going to give you one for an agent that's referred. Okay. So to the client, it would be, hey, their name. I was just thinking about the people who've helped grow my business, and I thought of you. When you sent the Smiths my way, that meant the world to me. They've become great friends, and they're loving their new home. I just wanted to say thank you again and remind you I'm here if I can ever help anyone else that you care about. Now, see, what we've done there is we've reinforced it. We've made it a little personal. We've out of the blue done this in a lot of cases. And so this could be somebody that sent you a referral 3 years ago. Hey, I ran into Cole at Publix or the grocery store, and we were just talking about that. And I just remembered that you were the one that initiated now my friend Cole and mine's relationship, and you entrusted me with helping them find that house. I just want to say thanks.
You're just giving gratitude.
Great. And have the transaction. But I will tell you this, it's even better to have Cole and his wife as friends now. And so I just wanted to make sure I went back and where I'm from, this is what I always say, where I'm from, honor's not truly given unless it's spoken. And I just want to make sure that I spoke this out to you, how much I truly appreciate you thinking of me. And just know I'm here if I can ever help any of your friends or family as well in the future.
Yeah.
This is a great way to drive that home. That's a client, okay? Now, I'm going to shift over now to the agent because it is slightly different, okay? Hey, agent's name. I've been reflecting on the referrals that have made a real impact, and I keep coming back to when you sent the Smiths to me. Not only did they become great clients, but they also became friends. I just wanted to say thank you again. And by the way, I always offer that 30% referral fee instead of the normal 25% in case you ever run across anyone else moving to my city. Just want to make sure you knew that I absolutely appreciated everything you did for me and that I'm staying on your radar. This is a great way. Look, the agent knows what you're doing, but they appreciate it because how many times do they send referrals and they never hear from those folks again and they don't have the communication? This is a great way to really drive that home and have those conversations, remind them to keep you top of mind. And also just look, it's the right thing to do. These thank you texts, it's the right thing to do. And when you lead with gratitude, you will absolutely, in my opinion, find more things to be thankful for. And so I think that is the one that if anybody is going to do just one of these, do that. If you've got somebody that sent referrals your way, start with that one. And everything else will begin to fall in place.
You know, one of the pushback that I'll get on something like this is a loan officer or an agent who, you know, you're encouraging to reach back into their database and, okay, you sold them a home 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I think we like to say no for the client ourselves, right? And we never make that call. And the pushback that I get or the hesitation that I get that I hear a lot is they're going to, you know, I haven't spoken with them in 5 years. They're going to think that I'm calling to like sell them something. That's all they're going to be thinking of. Right. So I had a coach ask because speaking from personal experience, I was that person like 10 years ago before I really started databasing. And my coach said, let me ask you a question. What car are you driving right now? And I think at the time it was a Chevy Tahoe. I was like, a Chevy Tahoe. Okay. How long ago did you buy that? I think it was 3 years ago. Okay. Do you remember your salesman's name? I was like, I think it was Steve. I'm not sure. Have you heard from him? No. What if Steve called you right now and said, hey, I was just thinking about you. I remember I sold you the Tahoe. I just wanted to say thanks and I hope that you're doing well. Let me know if there's anything I can ever help you with. How would you be offended if Steve called you? Like, no, like, no. People think about you a lot less than you think they do. They haven't been sitting around for 3 years wondering, why hasn't Jimmy called me or Cole called me? So I love this text, this video text, or, you know, however you want to do it. That's such an awesome way to just reach out to them and say thank you and kind of keep yourself top of mind.
Cole, these are some of those things, you know, I always talk a lot about, you know, if you're thinking about daily activities and what are the things that you can do, you know, I've used this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 program where it's like, hey, you need to do 5 conversations, 4, whatever, 3, whatever, 2, whatever, 1, whatever. I will say this, if you can send 5 specific texts like these every single day, I don't guarantee many things. I will guarantee you if you do this consistently over time, you will absolutely generate business. You will create momentum that you would not have otherwise. And so just come from a place of service, come from a place of truly being appreciative of those folks, and it will come through. And the more you personalize these, whether those are those video walkthroughs, whether that's starting with the thank yous that we talked about, or whether it is on going out there and really re-engaging with a dead or a cold database, all of these things are just ways that we can begin to add value in a way that will give people the opportunity to raise their hand and say, yes, can you help me with this? Or can you help them with this?
Yeah, man, I love it. These are so simple. So, Jimmy, you've given agents 5 simple, but obviously powerful texts that can probably move the needle in their business like immediately right now. So if an agent is listening right now before they hit, or right as soon as they hit stop on this, and they had the courage to only send one of these texts, would it be that, let's say they didn't have a bunch of past clients, which one should they start with and why?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you've got anybody in your database, start there because that's a great way to re-engage and find people that are active. The second thing I would do is any active, and look, one's better than none. If you've got one active buyer, go tomorrow with something that comes on the MLS and go do a video walkthrough and send it to them. and just say, hey, I was immediately thought of you guys. This is something that checks a lot of boxes. Love your feedback on
Yeah,
this.
because other agents aren't doing that. If they're talking to other agents, they're not doing that.
No. And again, that's a great way to set yourself apart. And so those are the ones I'd start with. Is obviously that's the real ones that are, the one for the thank yous potentially for referrals. The other two are very specific to identifying active buyers or people that are getting ready to be active buyers. And then it's for active buyers to move them from being, active to actually converting them to a contract.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, friends, here's your action step. Don't just listen to this. Don't just like hit stop and then move on to the rest of your day and go put fires out. Pick one of these 5 texts and send it today. Send it like right now. Momentum starts with action. And as my good friend Jimmy just said, nothing happens unless you make it happen. So if this episode was valuable to you, please share it with another agent who could use a boost in their business. And we're going to include all of this collateral that Jimmy is sharing with us in the description down below. Jimmy, thank you so much, my friend. I always appreciate you carving time out to give back to your agent community. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, you always do the best for all the agents out there, Cole. Appreciate all you do for the industry, brother.